All right, folks. This is another video I'll be doing. Um, you guys seen my previous video on McInerney. Um, he's a general, three-star general, very well decorated. Um, very, very talented on the battlefield. Um, and I respect him. I don't think that nothing that he says is a lie. However, the way people interpret things, they can interpret things a different way. Um, I feel like certain things people say, they all depend on the character and tenacity of their heart. And stuff that they know to be true, they know because they were either there or they got information from a source that they trust. And you can't discount this stuff. And you definitely have to make sure everything that you get now on the internet, you have to either screenshot it or do what I do, you know, while they still have the technology and available for people. Because the dynamics of social media and how we run everything is starting to change now. And big tech, they want to censor people for their opinions. They want to label Trump supporters as terrorists now. Um, and we're starting to see a lot of things change. We're starting to see this person in the office that's occupying the Oval Office, that's illegitimate. No going well, he cheated to get to where he was at. And the way everything was just done the wrong way. And if people don't think that nothing is gonna happen to those people that did this to this country, they have another thing coming. You guys give me 1 minute. I'm gonna get rid of these notifications so they don't pop up on the screen. And I have a low battery here. But I'm gonna play this and I might chime in later on or I might not chime in, but just know this. It's not over with yet. Trump said it to you people and the coded messages that he could without saying that he caught them dead cold and with their hands in the cookie jar, and they're gonna be exposed. People will go to jail for a long time, and there will not be no pity on the people. And the majority of all of the population will see that everything that they've been taught and that they learned about politics or they think they know about politics, they didn't know it at all. You've been no politicians are corrupt, cricket. You've been knew that. This will just put the icing on the cake. So without further ado, I'm gonna play this. This is McInerney. He's a decorated vet, and he doesn't lie. I can say that.
Today's speaker is Lieutenant General McInerney. I'm working on it. Recorded yesterday late afternoon, released to me now. Thank you for the emails. I'm more apt to answer those than the comments because of the small type. Have not slept at all, like in the last 3 or 4 days. Ate about 3 or 4 meals. You're wondering why you're not hearing this on mainstream news, and it seems like the messages of propaganda seem to be getting stronger in the last 24 hours. It's because these media companies have either been purchased by China, the CCP, or the CCP has bribed these people. And how these bribes work are explained by me, and the Lieutenant General speaks about it also. For example, many of the children's movies that we've gone to the theater to see, we see the DreamWorks logo with the little moon and the boy with the fishing pole. That is a propaganda media company solely owned, started, and operated by the Chinese Communist Party. If you see that logo in a movie, that corporation is controlled by China. In the summer of 2010, this gentleman approached me after I spoke to who turned out to be a British spy for over an hour. The things he said are explained in a video called The Spy Who Woke Me. Ironically, Lieutenant General Mick, I'm sorry, sir, I have not gotten that out of my mouth once correctly yet, is one of the people that were at the Zoom meeting 2 Sunday nights ago. By the way, this is the gentleman that intercepted all of the emails between Hillary and China. So you understand how these politicians get sucked in. A Chinese spy will come to them and say, we would like to give you $2.5 billion to invest in your country any way you want if you introduce us to blank. Every single one of these people who betrayed our country was approached with that sentence. It is considered a loan with no payback date, which means it's a bribe, and they don't target just politicians. They target college professors, doctors, scientists, whatever feeds the narrative they're trying to create.
Powerful words. I would like to hit it in a different direction. World War III has started. Some of you have heard me say this before. How has it started? We're in a war that is a hybrid war. It started out with the pandemic, or even before that, with the Russian collusion, internal people fighting us. And then the pandemic is not a pandemic. It was a deliberate biological attack on the United States of America and the global world with the intentions of the Chinese, President Xi, to take down our economies, number one. Number two, to impact this election in America in 2020. So when people say we've got a pandemic, understand it. It was a deliberate attack by China. There's no question about it, where it came from, and we must understand that. Now, simultaneous with that, we've had a very evil group in the United States of America. You all know who they are. The legislatures, the judicial, have all failed this Constitution and the Founding Fathers. The Founding Fathers knew nothing about massive cyber warfare, which we had. President Trump won in a landslide. 79 million votes versus 68 for Biden. 11 million votes margin. There was no question about it. But cyber warfare, what the Founding Fathers did not understand, and nor could they, because people today don't get it, that changed it. Just like in Georgia, you couldn't have had the two most unskilled clowns win down in Georgia that just won those 2 Senate seats. And the fact is, we've had collaboration, unfortunately, by Republicans and Democrats in this event. Now, I believe what General Flynn said, and I believe what Sidney Powell said. This still could be won by tomorrow. I don't want to go into the details, but President Trump, if he betrays us and he doesn't listen to those people and they don't do what can be done using the military, then he has betrayed us. He is either the greatest president in our history, or he's going to be the worst, to let a Marxist communist group come in and take over with China. That's what our future is. We have the leader in the Senate, McConnell, whose father is a wealthy Chinese, Taiwanese businessman. They're tied in with China money-wise. So we have that problem of that Chinese economic influence on our politicians, as well as our judiciary and the other problems. They have failed us, and when they went through the Electoral College, the joint vote on the 6th, again, the vice president failed is when he had the opportunity on the 6 battleground states, which are critical, when he had the opportunity to point out the unconstitutional procedures that they use in those states and send it back to the states themselves to resolve. He did not do that. The president has all the authorities. He doesn't need the Insurrection Act. He doesn't need Sedition Act or any of that. He's got a number of acts with his own executive orders, which he has put down. He's got the Defense Procurement Act. He's got the Stafford Act, as well as the Storm Act. And he's got money to do this. So that's what Sidney's talking about. We won't get into the legal things, but it can be done. He's got 25 to 30,000 troops in Washington, D.C. to do that. Will the military stand up? Will the president lead this, or will he watch it? That's the question. If he doesn't, as I said, and I'm strongly behind him now, but he has the opportunity to use Sidney and to use General Flynn to complete this act. We know that it's going to be a Marxist takeover. You've already seen what big tech has done, the censorship. All these things are coming down the road. So wrapping it up, he's got, 20-some hours or 18 hours, 12 hours, whatever it is, coming up, 14, to make that decision. Is he going to do it? We've got to do it ourselves. I believe the dear Lord will help us, but we've got to do it ourselves. And it's going to be some tough times if we do not.
If you'd like to donate to this channel, and that need is
Okay, so that had to be a day before Trump left office that McInerney pushed that message out. It wasn't a recent message. Done on 2021, 21st to 21. It wasn't done on that day. I know that for a fact. Just judging on what he just said, because once Trump he left the office, he can't have no executive orders done. He can't push for nothing executive to come or sign any executive orders anymore, because he's not the president, the current president right now. So everything that he could have done at that point in time, he can't do now. He had all those days in office to do something to stop this stuff from happening, and he chose not to do anything. So did Mike Pence. They were complicit. This is just my opinion. However, it's subject to change, given on that anything can happen. This is America. Anything can happen. People can get wise and see the stuff that's coming down the pipe, and we can get these people out of there. And when I say these people, I mean we can get rid of Joe Biden out of the White House. We can get rid of Kamala Harris. We can get rid of our whole entire government if we wanted to. You know what I'm saying? If we feel like that our government is doing too much, we have the power under the amendment to overthrow our government and remove them from office by force, with force. Not breaking in and doing little crazy little stuff that people did on the Capitol, but with force and action, using our military, because our military will not go against us no matter what. You know, people got to understand, our military has family in this country. All of their family is in this country. So if something is going against the family and the country, then it's going against everything that we stand and what we hold dear to us. So I doubt that if it gets down to that point, that the military wouldn't act on situations and they wouldn't help us out. And I think the same thing with law enforcement too as well. I think law enforcement is the same. They'll do the same thing. You know, um, the only thing you have to worry about is the commanders, whether you're gonna listen to your commanders or not. And that's the reason why they have all of this drone technology, so they can, you know, easily just have people that will do whatever they want them to do on the other side that they'll have to destroy. So you'll have to weigh in a lot of things and weigh your options, so to speak, when it comes down to the military helping us out. But there's a lot of rattleness going on here, with a lot of people saying different things. I've been listening to a couple of people on here. Some of the stuff that they're saying is outrageous, but yeah, I think that's the stuff that they're talking about disinformation. There is certain type of disinformation, but it is your prerogative whether you want to go and listen to that disinformation or not. It shouldn't be up to nobody telling you that you can't listen to whatever you want to listen to. And that's exactly where we're headed at with this new administration. So until something is done about this, it's going to continue to get worse on a microscopic level because, blind to other people, they think that everything is good. Donald Trump is gone. We can finally have peace. But no, it's actually going to get worse. And hopefully people will look back in time and say, well, maybe we should have listened to that person, but maybe it'll be too late at that time when your rights have been taken and your guns have been taken. You have to get in your house and you can't come out, and they'll be doing us just like how they do in China. Exactly what China want us to be tamped down and not be the most powerful country in the world, and open our borders to people that we don't even know coming in our country with sicknesses and diseases, coming in our country for all the wrong reasons, to rape our children, to kill our people. All of the people that's coming over here for asylum, to seek asylum, is not bad people at all. I have a Mexican friend. Me and her got into a little argument about this whole thing, and I was like, you don't really even get into anything. You just hear little clips of stuff or snippets of stuff. You really don't really do any research. And a person like that don't do any research, to a person that does this stuff all the time, every day, that read in between the lines, when you have an argument like that, where you have two people, one person not knowing too much of everything and complete detail or context, and then you have this other person over here that knows stuff from the context to the complete detail to the in between, the lies, the deception, the signs, the sigils, the black magic, all of that good stuff, I am on top of. So without further ado, I would like to conclude this video with this message. We're going to have to stick together. If there were 75 million people that voted for Trump, we need to get another 75 million people to wake up until we get at least 200 to 330 million people to wake up before it's too late. Because if we don't do that, and we don't do the biggest march that's ever known to man to get our country back, we won't have a country. And when it comes down to tell our grandkids, what do we do to stop our country from being taken over from within? We're going to have to tell them we didn't do nothing, or we tried. And trying, my friends, is not good enough. Doing it is better. Thank you.